I want you to try something right now. Delete Amazon. Not just the app, all of it. Cancel Prime. Cancel Prime Video. Unplug the Echo. Take down the Ring camera. Move your prescriptions. Find another store for everything you order regularly. Go ahead. Most people hit the same wall within 48 hours. Not because it's inconvenient. Because it's structurally impossible. Your TV streams through it. Your deliveries depend on it. Half the apps on your phone run on infrastructure Amazon owns. You didn't choose to depend on Amazon. Amazon spent 20 years engineering that dependency and making sure every single step felt like your decision. That's not a coincidence. Once you understand how it works, you'll never look at a free delivery the same way again. When did you decide Amazon was going to be your store? Not when you placed an order. I mean the actual moment you chose this company to handle your deliveries, your entertainment, your groceries, your home security, your prescriptions. You can't find that moment because it doesn't exist. There was no decision. There was a free trial, a discount, a convenience, then another. Then one more. And somewhere in that sequence, the cost of leaving became higher than the cost of staying. Amazon didn't win your loyalty. It made leaving expensive enough that staying became the only rational move. That distinction is everything. Here's what separates Amazon from every company we've covered on this channel. BlackRock built power through financial architecture. Blackstone through physical infrastructure. Amazon built it through something more personal than either. Habit. Not the habit of buying online that existed before Amazon. The habit of going to Amazon first, without thinking, before checking anywhere else. Amazon spent 20 years studying one problem: what makes a customer leave? Then they eliminated every single reason. Slow delivery, gone. Price comparison, neutralized. Switching to a competitor, made more expensive with every product you added to the ecosystem. Amazon doesn't retain you because you love them. They retain you because every month you stay, leaving costs a little more than it did the month before. That's not a loyalty program. That's a ratchet. And to understand why this became unstoppable, you need to understand what Bezos did with $99. Amazon launches Prime, $79 a year, unlimited 2-day shipping. Every analyst said the same thing. The math doesn't work. They'll lose money on every member. They were right. And Bezos knew it going in. Because Prime was never about shipping. It was about making you feel that buying anywhere else was wasting money you already spent. A non-Prime customer spends $600 a year on Amazon. A Prime member spends over $1,400. Not because they're wealthier, because the membership rewired how they decide. Amazon became the default. Every other store became the detour. Prime was the door. And in 2016, Bezos said something out loud that most companies only think privately. When we win a Golden Globe, it helps us sell more shoes. Not prestige, not art. Shoes. Cancel Prime, you lose the show. Lose the show, you lose the shipping. Lose the shipping, you rebuild years of habit somewhere else. A subscriber who watches Prime Video cancels at half the rate of one who doesn't. The content is the glue. What's behind that door has no exit sign. And to make sure you never look for one, Amazon had to do something nobody saw coming. It had to leave your screen and move into your walls. Prime locked you into the digital layer, but digital dependency has a ceiling. You can always find another streaming service. Physical dependency is different. Once a company owns the road, your packages travel on. The device in your kitchen, the camera on your front door. Switching becomes a project you never start. Amazon built their own cargo planes, delivery vans, last-mile network. Today, they deliver more packages in the US than FedEx. The companies that used to be their partners are now fighting for what Amazon doesn't want to handle. But the move nobody noticed wasn't the warehouses. It was what they put inside your home. 2014, Amazon launches Echo, a purchasing terminal disguised as a voice assistant. Ask Alexa to reorder something, and you skip every competitor in one sentence. No browser, no comparison. One command directly into checkout. Then came Ring, a security camera acquired for over $1.2 billion in 2018. A camera outside your home. Data on when you leave, when you return, who visits. And then they did something almost no one caught. They took the hardware you already paid for and built a private wireless network across your entire neighborhood. They called it Sidewalk, your Echo, your neighbor's Ring. All connected, all running on bandwidth you pay for every month. Amazon didn't need to build their own wireless network. They used the one already sitting in your living room. The network is active right now. Most people inside it have never heard its name. Is that a feature or a line that shouldn't have been crossed? Think about it. Amazon is not a retailer that also does advertising. It's an advertising machine that uses retail as its data collection system. Google knows what you're curious about. Facebook knows who you want to appear to be. Amazon knows what you actually do with your money. No other platform has that, because no other platform owns the store. In 2025, Amazon generated $68 billion in advertising, more than the entire US television ad market. Every dollar built on one thing: reaching someone already in a buying mindset, credit card on file, one click from checkout. And the infrastructure Amazon built for itself, it rents to everyone else. Streaming platforms, delivery apps, financial companies, all running on Amazon's servers. Your rivals are paying for the foundation of your house. That's the most brilliant business move of the last 20 years. Amazon never needed you to love them. They needed the cost of leaving to always be slightly higher than the cost of staying. And that gap compounds. Every year, inside Prime, your purchase history deepens. Your Alexa routines embed further. Your pharmacy records live in their system. Your favorite shows are on their platform. None of that is impossible to move. But moving all of it at once to different companies while rebuilding years of convenience, that's not a decision most people make. Bezos called it the flywheel. Every new user makes the platform more valuable. More data funds, more infrastructure. Lower costs attract more users. It only runs in one direction. And Amazon built it wide enough that most people were already inside before they realized there was no reverse. At what point does a system this deep stop being a service and start being something you never actually agreed to? There's no clean answer, but the question is worth sitting with. The next version of this system isn't coming. It arrived. In May 2026, Amazon quietly buried a name most people had never heard, Ruthless, and replaced it with something that sits inside the main Amazon search bar every time you open the app. They called it Alexa for shopping. Not a chatbot, not a search engine, an agent. The difference matters. A search engine waits for you to type something. An agent anticipates what you need before you do, and moves. Over 300 million people use this system in 2025 alone. It generated nearly $12 billion in incremental sales. Not from ads, not from promotions, from AI-driven recommendations that showed up before the shopper made a conscious decision to buy. Think about what that means at the ecosystem level. A customer starts a conversation on their Echo device about a science fair project. They open the Amazon app an hour later. Alexa already knows the context. It suggests the supplies. It tracks the price. When the price drops, it buys automatically. No search, no comparison, no second thought. The friction that used to exist between wanting something and buying it. Amazon is engineering that friction out of existence. And once the decision layer is automated, switching costs don't just go up, they become irrelevant. Because you're no longer choosing Amazon every time you buy. Amazon is choosing for you. Amazon is not an accident of luck. It's the result of a design any entrepreneur can replicate once they understand two moves. First, every time you connect a new product to one you already sold, leaving costs more than staying. A gym that sells your protein, tracks your workouts, and books your classes doesn't need to be the best in the city. It just needs to make switching feel like starting over. Make your next product the reason they can't leave the first one. Second, every new user makes the platform more valuable for everyone already inside. More sellers attract more buyers. More data improves recommendations. Better recommendations drive more purchases. Amazon didn't grow by spending more on marketing. It grew by building a system where growth fed itself. You don't need 240 million users. You need the right 100, who bring the next 100. The real question isn't about Amazon. It's about whatever you're building. Where is your switching cost? What's the second product that makes the first impossible to leave? Companies that win long-term don't win on price or features. They win by making their ecosystem the most expensive thing to walk away from. Amazon figured that out in 1995 and spent 30 years building it one layer at a time. The architecture is not a secret anymore. The only question is who uses it next. If this changed the way you think about how businesses hold their customers, subscribe to Titan Theory. Every week we pull apart the hidden architecture behind the world's most powerful companies. Not to admire them, to understand exactly how they were built. Now, the next episode is different. One of the oldest wealth structures on the planet. Families holding power across centuries. Not through products, not through platforms, through capital, land, and access that most people never learn exists. Old money, how it works, how it survives, and why it still shapes the world you live in today. It's the next video. Titan Theory. Most people see the surface. We show you the system,